Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to episode 111 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast, your source for all things responsible and ratchet. Welcome to this week's episode. My guest this week is the homie, the BFF KG. When things happen with pop culture, it really is only one person that I can bounce this stuff off on. And so it's him. So I called him up. He's excited. He's already done an episode, so he can't say that I don't love him, okay? But we have a good conversation about the kind of centered on the Black church through the lens of Kanye West and Fantasia. So if you've been under a rock, those have kind of been the stories of the week with Black pop culture. So that's what our conversation is mostly about, the two of them and this talk of submission and Kanye's redemption tour in using the Black church. So stick around for that conversation. Hopping right into pick of the week this week, Boonie's pick of the week, it's Rihanna. She's literally the gift that keeps on giving. And at this juncture, the only other gift that she can truly give me would be an album. Sis, where's the music? Yes, the Navy, we tired, sis. We're ready. I'm excited. And if the rumors are true that it's coming, the album is coming in December, that'll be bomb as fuck, because that will be my birthday. And you guys know Christmas is my favorite holiday. So that would be the bomb gift from my boo Rihanna. But she herself is gift enough to us all. Housekeeping. Feedback from episode 110 with our guest Amina Peterson. So many of you really enjoyed this episode and the thoughts about demanding your pleasure from your partner. And it was so interesting to get a lot of the feedback that I got about how this episode gave them the courage to finally speak up and tell someone that they're currently dealing with that they are not pleased and they're not interested and they just want more out of their sexual experience with their partner. And for me, that is the best feedback that I could ever receive in doing the podcast. I think it can be difficult, and I'm not trying to make it easy. Some people have no ease in speaking up for themselves and saying, nope, that wasn't good enough, try again, or move on, or whatever their walk away from that situation is. But in that episode, when Amina, so many of you honed in on the same exact points in this episode. And I know the tweet and the comment that I got the most about was when Amina said, maybe your lack of pleasure is also your intuition telling you this is not the space for you. And I want to shout out one of the Ratcheteers, because on Talk to Boonie Tuesday this week on Instagram, one of my questions I asked was, what does pleasure look like to you? And so I want to share some of the responses, because I feel like in order to know what's not pleasing you, you got to know what pleases you. And so eDiva826 said, feeling good, relaxation, strong intimacy, getting straight to the business. Shika said, feeling good and full, no pun. Miss J1908, everything during and leading up to an orgasm. Dante Cole, it's a sensation, a feeling, being truly connected to the experience. I really resonated with that. Not resonated. Is that the right word? Resonate with that response. And I Am Queenie said, someone putting your needs and satisfaction first. So I thought those were interesting feedback. I also asked a few people, and I got a lot of responses for the people. The question I asked, how did you tell your partner if you weren't experiencing pleasure? What were some of the ways you were telling them? And some of you were very bold and was like, I told him to get off of me and I fucking left. Okay, so it's very direct. But a lot more directness with that. Some people said they broke up, they're going to try better in the future. I thought one good response was someone was like, they did not focus on the negative, but instead they were like, they didn't want the person to feel inadequate. And so they focused on things like, oh, why don't you try it this way? I really like it when you... So I thought that was a good tip in saying it's a way that you can say you are not hitting the spot without making someone feel inadequate. So thank you for all of your responses on Talk to Boonie Tuesday and your feedback about episode 110. Atlanta. If you're listening to this, hopefully by this point, all of the early bird tickets have sold out at the time that I am recording this. If there are any early bird tickets left, I will leave them up there for another week. But hopefully by the time you're listening to this, they are gone. If not, but there are still tickets available. You can head on over to theboonieBreakdown.com/live, and we'll be in Atlanta on Saturday, November 9th. I'm excited. We're at Peter Street Station. So we are in Atlanta proper, as people say. So snatch up those tickets. Our guests are Brian, the guy you love to hate, and our Arkita McCormick of the Awkward Girl Podventures. So hope to see you guys in Atlanta, and tell your friends to get them tickets, because we want to have a dope ass show. We'll have the good goodie bags, we'll have some libations, and we'll have a good ass ratchet time. So can't wait to see my ratcheteers down in Atlanta. Again, for the people who are like, I really, really, really want to get a t-shirt or something, I'm offering free shipping on all Boonie Breakdown merchandise through September 30th. So if you use the code FREESHIP, FREESHIP, all caps, at theboonieBreakdown.com/shop, you will get free priority shipping, not priority, first class. The cheaper shipping is the one that's free. All right. If you are not following us on social, I encourage you to do so at Facebook and Instagram at The Boonie Breakdown. On Twitter, just at Boonie Breakdown. Okay. And when sharing this episode across your social media, please be sure to use the hashtag The Boonie Breakdown, the hashtag PODIN, PODIN. It's always great when you guys share to your Insta stories, or you share directly from Spotify or SoundCloud, because you can do that on SoundCloud. And it lets people easily access the podcast. Okay, so it's really dope. I appreciate you always sharing. I really do. And also, you know what? You can leave those reviews too. Just head on over to the Purple app if you're listening on Apple devices. And you can also leave a 5-star review over on Facebook. So yeah, I appreciate all that you do. Really, I really truly do, in helping to spread the Boonie Breakdown podcast to other ears and eyes. So that is it for me, guys. So let's get ready to break it down. All right, guys. So he can't talk shit about me, because I feel like on this season, I've had him on twice now before Chrissy and Sheikah have even been on this season. So, hey,
they probably still get to talk to you a little bit more, but that it's okay. I accept my role.
You have my full undivided attention now.
Oh, now. Now.
I love you. Hey, Kenny.
Yeah. What up? So, I'm here.
Yeah, look, you cannot say these lies and propaganda that I do not enjoy having you on.
I'm not saying thank you for having me. I appreciate always being on the Boonie Breakdown podcast.
Look, you have a little fan club out there too.
That's a lie. Again, I keep telling you that.
You do. I think I would get more questions about you if I was not as vocal about fucking any bitch up who tried it with my family. And I really just think that is why you don't get a lot more through me. They probably just slide in your DMs directly.
I don't think anyone knows my social media information.
Yeah, I really try not to tag you.
I'm like,
people always say that, like, somebody had messaged me because I had shared like a picture on Chrissy's birthday, and then it was Brian's birthday right afterwards.
Yep. I don't get any
and they were like, you didn't share. And I was like, because I do. I was like, I know he does this as a favor to me, but I was like, he doesn't like attention like that.
Nope.
So that is why I did not post for Kenny's birthday, because I do try to respect some level of his privacy, because he just does this being a good friend.
Hey, I try. Listen, I don't even post about my own birthday. So
You don't?
like, it's here, it's over.
Yeah.
So,
but it's just so funny to me how observant people are that they noticed that I did not do that. So
people probably be thinking we ain't friends no more. You know,
I don't even know at this point what would it take for you not to be my friend.
I don't know.
Exactly.
At this point, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been so long.
Yeah, so
it's like we've been friends more years of my life than we haven't.
Yeah, at this point, so, yeah. So I ain't going nowhere.
We're old as fuck. Old as fuck. Like next year will be 25 years.
Jesus.
Right? Yeah. 25 years.
Yeah.
So look, yeah. At this point, he's stuck with me.
I am.
All right. I do have an update. I have to ask you about the one personal thing. I joked him about it. Did you cry when the boys went to school?
Did I cry? No, I did not. So
I teared up at the picture. I ain't even gonna lie.
So
they not even my children.
Yeah. So Ash was already gone because she has to be at school because it's the first day of school, right? So I'm getting them ready and all this other stuff. So then my parents came over to see them leave out. And if you know, like my mom has been taking care of them since birth. So she's been with them literally every day. So she was crying, which didn't help me emotionally. So that didn't help. Then my dad was like, "Oh, we're going to have a prayer before they go to school." And I'm just like, "Hold on, what? What's happening?" I'm like, "Hold on, what's going on here?" So, that I think that added to the emotional aspect of it. But then because of all of these actions, we were like rushing to get to school on time on the first day. Mm-hmm. So, I had to drop them off and then be out. So they didn't let the parents kind of stay there and linger and whatnot.
Well, that's good that you can't be there and make the babies uncomfortable.
Yeah, they kick you out. So, but no, I mean they've been adjusting well.
And that's good.
So, they haven't gotten put out yet. So that I guess that's a good thing.
I literally was just thinking about it and I was like, oh my God, how trash that shit is. They really have so much freedom, laxing at home and grandma's there and then gotta go to school. That shit sucks.
Yeah. It's literally, oh, you can wake up, watch TV, eat breakfast at your leisure. And then it's like, oh, okay, well then we'll, start doing some practice words and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be doing it all day. Then we'll, go out and grandma will take us to Walmart and we'll buy a toy and all this,
Right, it's so great. And now they have to go to fucking school. But they're so fucking adorable. And I did tear up. I'm like, damn. Because I call them my baby boos. And I was like, my baby boos, not baby boos no more.
Yeah, no, it's over. It's over. Next they'll be going, well, if college is affordable at that point in time.
College will be $2 million a year.
They may be going to college. If not,
you have to take out reverse mortgages on your house to send them to college. I feel like it's good. This is the college thing is so interesting because I do feel like at some point, they've priced themselves out, and it's enough millennials who are parents now who will still be paying their student loans when their kids go to college.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to afford to send.
That you cannot afford it. It really just is this is just fucking robbery at this point. When I see tweets, and even when I look at my own fucking loan balance, but when you see tweets where someone says, I graduated with $50,000 in student loans, I have paid $48,000 back, but my balance is still $52,000. What kind of math is that? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
But I understand it because out of my payment, and I'll be honest, I pay $581 a month, and $23.79 of it goes to the principal every month.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna pay these back.
Let me tell you, going into your Navient or whatever servicer you have, that account and like actually spending a half an hour in there and realizing how much of a scam all of this is,
you get depressed.
depressed.
I literally could see how someone who was really has their finances have them under, and like everything else is fucked up, and I could see how you would be like, you know what, fuck it, I just got to end it, because you're trapped. You literally are trapped, right? So I feel like I'm in a position where, okay, I got to do things with the other shit I have to stay above water. But when I saw that, I'm like, fucking $23.79 that's it. Like, that is why the balance does not move. That is why I owe literally the same thing. It does not fucking move.
Yeah, like, honestly, I mean, if I was you and you never had children, I would probably not pay them off.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't see...
like because they can, like, the debt can't get passed down. So, like, all right, cool.
I mean, I really don't at this point. Like, I really don't. And people joke, like, laugh when I say it, but I really do. Like, I've been in my house now. It'll be 9 years, coming up on 9 years. I really can foresee in the near future, like, I can see a point where my mortgage will literally be less than my student loans if I do not get some type of huge lump sum blessing to just pay them off.
You're definitely paying your house off before you pay off your student loans.
Oh, I mean, that's totally doable. Yeah. I could buy another house and pay that off before I pay off my student loans. By just making the monthly payment. Yep. Let me caveat, by just making my monthly payment, I could probably buy another house and still pay that off before my loans, which is some fucking bullshit. So,
yep.
So, and you're married, like...
I am.
and you're on your debt-free plan.
I know.
Like, is this something you guys are doing together? Are you testing the waters first?
I'm testing the waters first.
Okay.
And I think, obviously, I think we got to figure out, like, a long-term plan, because once we add in Ash's student loans, it defeats you.
I mean, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not laughing to be like, but I get it.
That master's, like, the master's.
Literally, I have said that. I have done not a lot of fucked up things, but I literally think I could have become a full-blown junkie, smoked crack, heroin, all that bullshit, became clean again, restored my life, and the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life was financing a master's. Like, I mean, nothing comes close to this. My undergrad student loans, they weren't, that didn't scare me. Like, I could have, yeah. But that financing that fucking master's, dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
So, yeah, like, I mean, for her field, being a principal now, it makes sense. Completely get it. For me, being in finance, I don't see, unless I can, like, cash flow it or somebody is completely paying for it, I just don't see the benefit.
Yeah, that's the only way I see why it's work. Unless someone's fully going to pay for it, and then they talk about the public student loan forgiveness bullshit. No one gets approved for it. Like, it's the second round, and they've denied another 99% of the people who applied. And I'm just like, well, fuck y'all. Like, I'll send y'all little bullshit ass payment, so I stay current, and y'all don't snatch what little tax refund I get now. But I that is not on my list of things. It's not on my high priority list.
No, it won't happen. I mean, I mine is doable. Like, I'm doing my privates, and those are done this year, and then I'll decide how I want to evaluate these federals. They just make it so easy for you not to pay. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, just like
I wish it wasn't so easy for me not to pay, and hopefully they aren't listening to this podcast. But
no, keep it exactly the way what I mean?
But I can say, okay, I'm going to focus this year on knocking out my private loans so that they're completely gone, and not pay y'all the entire year, and literally listen to a voice message on the phone and just say accept, and I don't have to pay for the next year. Like, it's just crazy to me. But I thank them. I thank them for their forbearance.
Thank you, Father.
I thank you all for your forbearance policies, because you have helped me tremendously. And
Yeah, I mean, forbearances are king. I'm not, this is not no financial advice, but I'm just saying, me, myself, personally, I generally don't pay my student loans between the months of October, November, and December. Give me them 90 days.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
See y'all in January. Like, I just can't. I need a break because I've only put down $145 to the principal this year anyway. So
I know most people take off at least 3 months. They'll either do the summer. They either do summer
I don't know
or
anyone
holidays.
who pays all year long.
It's like, oh, I need to ball out during the summer. Y'all ain't getting no money.
Yeah, for me, I like holidays and my birthday. So Christmas is my favorite time.
I gotta decorate.
So fuck y'all. Let me live.
I gotta decorate. I gotta buy these gifts. Y'all can't take my extra money. So sorry.
I need that 600.
So every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
It really does, especially because that's my new thing now. My new thing is to try. Well, no, I've done it the last 2 years where I don't put Christmas on credit cards.
Yeah, that's
that's really I try not to do that, and I've been successful the last 2 years. So.
Clearly, this year I cannot.
No, you can't. You're very adamant.
Dave Ramsey will probably find me and hurt me, but
he's
but last year, like last minute things come up. Oh, what's the easiest place I can go? Macy's. Cool.
Well, that's why I got that balance at Nordstrom.
Like, what am I going to get somebody? Oh, I don't have any money. Cool. Yep. Macy's. Perfect. Oh, Macy's, you sell electronics now? Oh, really? Interesting. All right. Yeah.
Right.
Listen,
right.
All a scam. Yeah. I won't fall trap to that no more.
And like Nordstrom now, I was reading like they opened some like brick and mortar spot up in New York where they will accept returns from anywhere. Like you could have brought the shit at Kmart and they will take it at this Nordstrom spot up in New York. I don't know what they do with this shit, but it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So some things happened in the news. I don't even know if it's the news, but I guess in the pop culture space.
That's what I'm here for.
And I was like, you know what? I feel like I let this one thing go long enough without addressing it.
Hallelujah.
This Kanye, that's what he should call it. Kanye Sunday service. I feel like it's time to speak on this.
Well, as you know, I love Kanye, so you know.
Even through the Ye album.
Even through.
No, that wasn't the one I didn't like.
Yeezus.
I didn't like Yeezus.
But you didn't like I don't even think you listened to the last album.
Did I? I don't even know if I did.
That was the one where he did like 5 albums in like 5 weeks. It was Tiana, Pusha, him and Cudi, him by himself, and that Nas album.
Oh, I don't like.
Yeah, I don't think you.
I didn't listen to Nas. I don't think I did listen to the last one, honestly. I think the last one I listened to was Pablo.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think I don't think I did now because I just pulled up the album artwork. I don't even.
You don't even remember it.
That doesn't even look familiar to me. So yeah, I will say this. So I went to a wedding in Delaware, and my mom, she's so hip. She's scrolling Facebook in the car, and she's like, "Ooh, Kanye is at Jamal's church." So she connects her phone to the Bluetooth, and I listened while she watched the Sunday service. Now, I will say the choir is bomb as fuck. Now, I can fuck with some good music. Now, this sounds really blasphemous, but whatever. My favorite thing about church is usually a good choir. I usually go to church for the ministry of the choir. It's my favorite part. So the choir is bomb as fuck. I can appreciate their talent, the remixing of secular music. But I noticed, this is my first time listening and watching one in entirety. He was quiet until he did his testimony part. And it was just fascinating listening to the things that he was saying and the crowd's response to such things. And then they finished the songs and it was over. I guess what I'm a few things. The first thing is it's just interesting now watching the black church and some of these mega churches inviting him physically into their spaces. Because this shit started at his house, and then he's been
Chicago,
in like just random
LA,
places.
Churches, yeah.
Yeah. So I know now watching churches really, really invite him in to do this that's interesting to me.
It is. I agree. So here's how I look at it. So the music is banging. Like, here's the thing.
I mean, it is.
Here's the thing. Like, the music is knocking. They are blending a lot of that 90s gospel music that we kind of grew up on with secular music at the same time. So it's like a perfect combination. It draws you in.
Yeah, because that was it does. Because that was my other thing. Like, nothing he's doing is groundbreaking. I mean, first of all, hello, Kirk Franklin. Yeah. And then two, any child that grew up in church at some point was remixing regular music into a gospel song.
Nothing new. It's nothing
new.
I think for me, I have to take a step back because I don't like the fact that he is doing his public rehabilitation by using the church because he knows black people are forgiving when it comes to religion.
I mean, literally, that's all this is. And it's like a redemption thing because literally the things he's saying in his little testimony, like the cars, the jewelry, the houses, like that's the devil. But nigga, you still live in Calabasas. Like, I ain't see you give that shit up.
And I'm sure that nothing has slowed down in regards to your materialistic lifestyle, things like that.
I'm sure you flew to Chicago on a private plane while the choir was in coach. Like,
yeah. So I think that for me is just the thing that I'm trying to figure out is, well, hey, what are you trying to accomplish from this? Like, are you really bringing out now a gospel album that's coming out at the end of the year? From what I'm reading, that's the end game. The end game is like, this is leading up to a album that is based around God. And obviously, like, a lot of his music has had a religious element to it. So it's not anything new, but the new album is supposed to be strictly based around the church, which is going to be, I think that in itself is interesting, but it's interesting to see how forgiving people are based off of how you come back at them. So you can do all, you can do all this fuck shit, and then you pop up in a church and start singing for a little bit. And then it's like, he turned
his life over to the Lord.
He turned it. And it's...
like, that nigga is still in that same bullshit.
So, yeah, it's kind of like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's actually what we want from the church. Like, we want the church to be this accepting place where people can come there and, like, hopefully renew their spirit and fix themselves and things like that. But if you take a step back, like, is he taking advantage of it?
I mean, you can't speak truly on people's intention, but it does not seem to be extremely genuine. The timing of it seems real murky, real odd, especially the cover work. The cover art of his new album drop, which is implying it's a gospel album. He just saw Snoop didn't Snoop win a Grammy or some shit for his gospel album? People were leery about that too, but it was a decent album. But it came out of nowhere. He didn't have church pop-ups and, like, I don't know. It's just something about this. Like, we've seen this from you before, Mr. West, and the part about where people are really like, he's ministering and saving souls. Like,
no, I'm not gonna go that.
You going too far for me? Yeah, I can't. I'll rock with the lane. Like, okay, the music is bomb as fuck. And that's pretty much all I can give to this. I was laughing because what's the girl? Candace Benbow. Are you familiar with her? Is that how you
Yeah, I think so.
She did that post where she was just kind of like, it's interesting to watch this because pretty much like some of the stuff we were saying about the black church, but then she was saying like how black women don't get the same level of redemption, and she called out, how Kanye is Mr. MAGA with his hat and all that bullshit with Trump. But then, Chrisette Michele still has not rebounded from performing at the inauguration.
Yeah, no, yeah. So here's the thing. So I get that. I don't think. I mean, Chrisette made an amazing first album. Don't get me wrong, but she wasn't on a level of Kanye. So maybe it's easier to allow that with him than it is with her. I don't know. I listened to her. I haven't like canceled her. I'm not, one to do that. So like I listened to that album, the more recent music that she brought out, but I think at least for most people, if Kanye brings out music that knocks and it hits and it's good, they can forget very easily about all the rest of the crap that he's done. It's when your music is trash and you're doing the same things that it's not as it's not as easy to kind of get back in people's good graces. But like if Kanye had, said all this MAGA stuff and then dropped the album that was late registration right now, I can guarantee you that late registration was still knocking, people would still be rocking it. And no matter what he puts out, people are going to listen to it.
And this is my thing, like it goes back to episode we did before about the cancel culture, right? Like I am getting sick of the cancel culture, honestly. Like especially in regards to people who are getting canceled for shit that happened 20, 10, 15, 5 years ago, right? Because we do evolve. So if it was only one incident within a time frame and nothing else comes forward, then we all fuck up, right? Now, if it's a pattern of shit over time, then that's a different story. Like, okay, then okay, maybe nigga, you gotta sit the fuck out now. But I just kind of feel like I don't know. I mean, if you want to cancel Kanye, that's your choice or whatever. I just feel like, and I'm not even a super duper religious person. I don't even go to church, but I just feel like slapping on when two or more are gathered on to what Kanye is doing and calling him minister and saying he's ministering, I think you're stretching far as fuck now.
Yeah, he's literally performing music in a church. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think he's just doing performance theater. That's literally all I think it is. And to all the points we made before, he knows. I mean, even O.J. Simpson knew that shit. When white people was done with his ass and he got acquitted for killing 2 white people, his ass showed up in black churches across the nation.
Let's not forget Mr. Kelly dropped a double album with one side being a gospel album. So, and,
hello. All up and through Marvin Sapp songs and Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
I mean, the black church don't have a good track record.
They don't. So
they gullible as fuck over there, right?
Like, oh, that music hits? Oh, that's going to get my name out there? Cool. You did what? Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about that. It's okay. That's going to brush over.
Yeah, and I do think, and two, I will say too, from the choice of church and pastor.
That didn't help.
Yeah. who too is not unfamiliar with scandal, and redemption himself. That, it made sense for that particular pastor to lend that message of redemption.
Yeah, and you knew of all places, if you would have expected him to show up anywhere, it would have been in the church that Bishop Jamal Bryant would be at. And
Baltimore just mad he ain't here
exactly.
no more. Now, would you have gone if Jamal was still here at Empowerment? Would you have gone?
We were there when he brought Mace.
Oh, we did go to that.
So let's not act like we didn't hear. Oh, Mace gonna be here? Okay, we there. Mace
we did.
Mace preaching? Okay, we there. And then he got up there asking us for $10,000. $10. Get out of here, my brother. I don't have a job.
We literally did go to coffin for that. I forgot, and I'm sitting in the audience all lusty, like, ooh, look at past the base.
Yeah, man. Listen. That.
Yeah, I totally would have went though.
If they would have heard that Kanye was going to be there this Sunday,
Ricestown Road would have been packed like shit.
They'd have had to move. They'd have moved the service. They'd have had to move the service.
It'd have been an M&T.
Yeah, like that's how quickly like people would have shown up. And
yeah,
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I'm not even going for it. I'd have been there too.
I'd have been there. I ain't gonna miss Kanye. I mean, if Kanye goes back out on tour, if Kanye goes and does a gospel tour, I'm there. Kanye goes and does another tour, that's just a hip hop tour, I'm there. So I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna show up. But
I haven't been to a Kanye tour since Watch the Throne.
Okay.
Yeah, Watch the Throne.
Did I? I don't think I. No, I missed. I went to the Yeezus tour. I missed. I think I missed Pablo or whatever that last one was, where he had that like floating stage thing above people's head.
Okay, yeah, I didn't go to that.
Yeah, I didn't make it to that one. I don't know what happened. Something happened where I couldn't go. But
was that the one where he
had like a mental breakdown on tour?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I missed that entire one.
Yeah. But other than that, I haven't missed any Kanye tour.
Any Kanye tours. So. All right. So is this okay? So my next question before we move on: do you think once the album drops, that is going to be his tour, Kanye Sunday Service?
Oh, for sure. Like they auditioned these 150, or however many. I think I saw it was like 150 singers for like, it was however that choir director that's up there, I forget his name or whatever, but they've hired these people for multiple different things. So it wasn't just like, oh, we're going to do these things on Sundays. It was like a multifaceted hire for like different events, TV, all this other stuff. So yeah, there's something coming. I don't know to what extent, but there's something bigger than what this is.
I mean, wouldn't that? I mean, not to give him inflate his ego anymore, but like, wouldn't that be a different twist? Like he does at least the U.S. leg of this tour is just nothing but black mega churches.
That would be interesting.
Or even not, I'm not even gonna put black. Even if he popped up at Joel Osteen shit.
Now, I would have to see how they would do that because black churches got to get their cut. So, and then they will always try to slide an offering in there, but people would already be paying for tickets.
They'll figure it out.
I don't think they're going to turn. They wouldn't turn out.
Black people are the same people who spend $50 on lottery tickets every day and broke as fuck. Yeah. So they'll figure it out.
They wouldn't. The opportunity would not get turned down. Like everybody.
Yeah, you in this. I mean, the church keep the offering if they buy for entry and Kanye gets the entry. The church is also making money off charging a venue fee
for sure.
I mean, I could totally see how this works. It's like a win-win.
Well, listen, New Psalmist Baptist Church, if you are interested, please let me know. And,
they already got, they got Sarah Jakes.
Yeah, I will.
And that sold out real quick. I think that sold out faster than her joint at the Lyric.
So
But
I'll be, I would be there, and I'm sure it would be packed. It would be like it would be like when it would be like when Bishop Jakes comes. Like it same thing, packed. So it
it'll be
is what
back.
it is. So we'll see. Let's see. It's gonna be interesting how this goes.
So it definitely I'm watching, and I can't wait to see what this album is going to be. In another popular culture that's kind of rooted in this church shit, Fantasia. Now y'all know I really do enjoy and love Fantasia Barrino. I voted for her
We could
on Idol.
we could vote many times during that race.
I enjoy every single one of her albums except the last one. The bitch can sing. I've seen her live. But she's caught people in the uproar these last few days.
Yeah.
Because she made a comment about submission. Now, I feel like whenever this, I don't think most people disagree with. Let me stop back up. I feel like whenever people say that word submission, it just people have such a visceral reaction to it as soon as they hear it.
It doesn't take much. They hear that word, it's just like, oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. So I was like, okay, they all in the uproar. I saw like a 20-second clip. I don't even really care for the Breakfast Club, but I could tolerate the whole interview because Charlamagne wasn't there. So I watched the interview. I wasn't offended by what she said.
That is very good. I mean, no, I mean,
now I have caveats, but I didn't see what the uproar was. I guess I was waiting like, what part am I supposed to be mad?
I don't see anything that she said that should make anyone mad. I think to ease confusion, I think we should stop using the word submission just because I don't think people really understand it in the context that I think some people are using it. Now, you also will hear a lot of people use the submission conversation literally as a disrespect to women. And when that comes into play, that's out of line. And that is not where we're at. And that should not be in any point where we should have been at. But for her and her relationship, I think what she said makes sense. I guess depending on how you interpret what submission means to you and in your relationship.
Yeah, I just feel like for me, it's not a word I personally would use, because then you get into that argument of people immediately say, well, yes, when you find a man that's worth submitting to. But to me, I feel like the better word there is trust.
Yes.
Because I feel like all of these things that we are indoctrinated and preached to believe that, the man is the head of the house and he makes the decisions and you can't do all that stuff. Like, I feel like all of that comes with trust. I don't feel like you need to use the word submit. It's just not a word I'm ever going to use. Now, I'm not a theologian. Is that what it is? Yeah. So I can't quote a lot of Bible verses, but I just feel like if you create an environment with someone that you're building a relationship with, that you both trust in each other, that shit will fall into place. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll trust that you have my best interest at heart and my family's best interest at heart for our future decision making. So I might be willing to fall back. and let you do that shit, right? But I don't subscribe to the belief that just because you are the man, that you are the leader and you're a better leader than me because you are a man.
No, yeah.
I can't rock with that.
So,
and I feel like that's where that line, that's where my uncomfortableness comes with it. Because some, yeah, you want, but some, you gotta know your strengths and weaknesses. In some relationships, heterosexual relationships, the woman might be a better leader.
and I don't, and to be honest, like, I don't think you can be in a partnership with someone that you aren't willing to submit for at times, depending on the situation.
Okay, so give me an example that you submit to your wife.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, you're married. I'm not. I'm just speaking in hypotheticals. But I'm just saying, as you're thinking, like, that's what it would take for me. It would take me feeling safe and comfortable enough, and you have proven yourself to me, and not even through your interactions with me, but just how you move in the world, that I know, oh, he got me, and we gonna be good.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I would want him to look at me and say, oh, that bitch got my back too. We gonna be good.
Yeah. I think it's, not having to worry about things getting taken care of, trusting someone to be able to do things for your family, your kids, like that all ties into a partnership. So submitting may to an extent may feel like you don't need to do everything because you trust that the other person is going to be able to pick up the slack of the things that you're not able to do.
Yes.
And for me, I think that there's a equal level of that. I think that there are times that obviously when you have a partnership, you have to submit emotionally to somebody as well. You have to take yourself out of the situation and focus on that other person. Like you can't make every situation about yourself.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I feel like too, the other thing with this, and I feel like this goes a lot to the whole realm of social media, is that, and that fucking hashtag relationship goals is like, again, to this ideal that we've been bombarded with, like, this is how marriage should look like, and this is how relationships should work. That when we see something that doesn't align with what we say is a relationship, then we get it up in arms about it.
Yeah.
Like, if that shit works for Fantasia and her husband, I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm glad y'all happy. And I feel like even as I'm still dating and have these conversations, I find some, I'll say the men that I have dealt with, it's like kind of a trepidation there where they don't believe when I say, like, you can really make this what do we want this shit to look like? It don't have to look like how it was with your mama and daddy or your grandmama. Like, what do you want your fucking relationship to look like?
Yeah. And some relationships, some relationships, some women and some men may want to take a step back, and they know that their partner's a better leader, and they take that role and they kind of run with it. Some, there's an equal partnership with it, where some people take the lead on some things and some people take the lead in others. So it really depends. I think it's hard, like you said, it's hard to judge and try to understand people's relationships that we aren't in on a daily.
Yeah.
So for her, she may not be looking for him to take the lead financially in their relationship, but there are other things that she considers as more important that makes him to her the head of the household.
Exactly. And I would say too, like, for me, I watched that play out in real life, where I know like my grandparents, that was both their second marriages, and my grandmother made probably 5 to 6 times more money than my grandfather. Yeah. And I did not see the nuances of their inner relationship until my grandmother died, and I had to step up and be in charge of my grandfather's affairs. And the expectations that he had of his finances after my grandmother died, and I'm looking at the money like, now how the fuck was Granny doing this? Because this don't even make sense. But my grandmother had found a way. Like, they were old school, they were very religious, and I won't say I can't say in my mind of what I saw their relationship, her submit, but she did play that more, I'm gonna use traditional in air quotes, that wifely role. I never saw my grandfather cooking, making his own plate until my grandmother physically was so sick that she could not. And then that's when he was cooking her meal. And he did all that stuff. So it was just so weird to me watching, but I'm like, damn, that's how it's like for sickness and health. She literally is actively dying. And so it wasn't like he said, you still the woman, hire somebody to do this, right? Like, it wasn't even a thought. He just, all right, well, I'm cooking now and I'm going to make your plate and bring it to the table. And so I watched that and I admire that in my grandmother. But it's like, whoo, that plays out different, because in dating, sometimes I'm probably am going to date a guy where I make more money than him. And some guys get a little weird about that. Some guys don't care. And for the ones who get weird about that, but are willing to work on their shit to deal, like to be in something, like, then it's like, well, damn, what can I learn from Granny? Right? How did Granny do that? Yeah. And so it is about finding the right balance for what you're in. But I do feel like people get real worked up, because I could take that shit and just look at, like, put my grandparents on a pedestal and be like, well, this is how it is. No, not necessarily. And I just don't feel like, I just feel like people have to stop letting other people's shit get them so worked up.
Yeah. Because
when I heard it, I just really did not hear, because people were like, how you blaming women. Now, the one point I will agree with her on, because I have to check myself on, because that's the part I think really triggered some people, was when she was like, we've been taught to be the strong, independent woman, that when a man shows up, we lose a nigga because we don't know how to soften.
Yeah. That
I might ride with her a little bit on that.
I can see that. I think, especially like if you've just been doing it for God knows. I mean, some people, some people go without a relationship till they're in their 40s, and you've literally built a life, a career, a home, everything without.
And I think, and it's not that you don't want to. I think it's just harder for you because I'm stuck in my ways. It's like, I'm just so used to doing this shit by myself. That how do I make space for someone else to come into this equation? Which is when I laugh, like, the longer I stay single, having two houses don't seem absurd to me. Like, I've never been the super, now I've never been the super, like, sit up under you, let's always be together type. Now, when I'm with you, I probably won't be able to take my hands off you. I can be very intense and I'll do air quotes again, needy when we have our time together. Yes. But when it's Wednesday night and I got to record an episode, go do what the fuck you got. Leave me the fuck alone. Like, I don't want to be bothered with you. So I'm like that, could I find somebody? You can have a key. You can come over here anytime you want.
But then you gotta leave.
Is that crazy? And I know an older couple, they maintain two houses for that exact reason, because they got married later. And to me, that was so like, oh my God, somebody I know in real life actually does this.
And it works. And
they've been married like 14 years.
So
I just do what the fuck works for you.
Like, some people, like, you may just want to kick back and let somebody do some stuff for you. Cool, that works.
Because I know I can't wait. It's some shit like I'm sick of taking out the trash. I don't want to put gas in my car no more. I don't want to change light bulbs no more. I don't even want to make the appointments for the oil changes no more. I don't want to do none of that shit. And I know it's that bullshit like gender role shit, but I don't want to do it.
No, I mean, listen, I can tell you that my wonderful partner, she is great at having those lights on in your car, and kind of let them sit there. And then I'll hop in the car and be like, I wonder how long this light has been on. We didn't know. But, like I said, like, I don't.
Now I'm not that bad. I'll say, my maintenance light came on. Because it's funny, like that meme that came around where it was like life is going great, and it's the SpongeBob meme with the fish busting through the Krabby Patty doors, like car problems come at the worst time. So I'm really good about my light came on, let me make it. But I don't want to deal
what's that
with
noise? Oh, let's turn the music up. I can't hear it no more.
Like, I just don't want to deal with that shit. So it's some stuff I can't wait till I could turn over. But yeah, it's just like, what does that look like? Like the longer I move into staying single, I can see how it's hard to give up some shit.
And I mean, maybe just to make people a little bit more comfortable, we just don't use the word submission, just because people get all confused and leads to all these unnecessary conversations that don't even need.
Yeah, because I was listening intently, like, what got people? And I didn't watch all of their coupled rebuttal to the backlash, but from the parts that I hear, like, they seem sincere in their intent for their relationship. And I thought it was bullshit that they even had to come back out and explain shit.
It's always somebody that's going to be complaining, and the internet's minority ends up being the majority. So you got to answer them.
So can we also talk about, before we wrap up, the two best memes of the week?
6ix9ine.
Oh, that is okay. It's a lot of good memes this week. I forgot about those. Are good, but I was going to say the Keke Palmer one. I don't know this man. Sorry to this man.
I actually showed me that yesterday, and I was like, oh my God.
Someone on Twitter found the entire clip. Apparently it's from an interview with Vanity.
Oh, I thought it was from like an acting show. That was like real life?
No, it's an actual interview.
That makes it even better.
Because Vanity Fair posted it on their Instagram. I follow them for some reason. Probably when they do the award show after parties. I like those videos they do. Anywho, but they put down like, oh my God, this instantly became an iconic meme. And so she was being interviewed because she played a VP in one of them Disney shows or something she was on. And so they showed her a picture of Dick Cheney. So at the time that Dick Cheney was president, she was like 3 or something, like dumb young. So they were like, when you were on Nickelodeon show, you were VP. They showed the picture, and they cut out the beginning part where that's even gold too, because she's like, who the hell is? And then she's like, I'm sorry, y'all really tested me. Like, that shit is so funny.
I don't know this man.
She's like, sorry to this man. And it's like, the tweet that took me out was somebody was like, how is Keke Palmer 25 but 95 at the same time?
That was definitely an old woman answer right there. I don't know this man.
So those memes have been taking me out. And then the other meme with the girl, I don't even know. I guess she's like the new Lala on Instagram.
I probably don't know.
And I saw the original. You don't know who Lala is?
I know who Lala is, but I'm like a new Lala. Does she got a fake butt?
I feel like that's who she is. I don't know how else to describe her, but she does. She went viral before with another video, but it's a video of a guy scrolling her Instagram.
Oh, the joint with the nappy head. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the memes people are making off of
That was
hers
good.
are
That was good.
they're gold
That was
too.
good.
I'm just like, the internet is really on fire this week, and I like it when it makes me laugh instead of stressed out.
They are. They are pretty good. They are pretty good.
Any closing thoughts and words?
I ain't got shit.
Mantras. You don't got shit.
Keep up alive. Stay focused. Enjoy your new iPhones.
I'm jealous of people who got a new iPhone.
Enjoy them.
I just could not give Apple $2,000 in a week. Like, I just had to get a new MacBook, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should have just all financed it all. No, I wouldn't even tell you to do that. Not no more.
Yeah, I'm like, who are you? But I feel like I am gonna get an 11 Pro at some point.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be one in my household soon, and it might not be mine, and that is gonna make me want one.
Yeah, I feel like once you see one and touch one in person, that always triggers the. But I mean, we did good, and we didn't get an XS.
Yeah, we kept the X. We kept the X. So
yeah,
I just said that I wanted to go a year without paying for a phone. So that was my mindset. I was like, I think about it. I'm just like, I just have this payment now.
Just think of it as part of your cell phone service. Like, I think that's why I don't think I'm paying on it, because yeah, and that is the problem. It's very tricky because the first time I leased a phone, when I did the 7, I did it with the Apple program. When I went to go renew, it denied me. I was like, what the fuck? I already got it. But they wouldn't give it to me. So I was like, well, I need this fucking X. And I went through AT&T, just being impatient, like, fuck it. And then I sold my 7. The money I got for it paid off the balance of the 7. And then was just paying.
Yeah. If I do it, I want to be able to sell this on my own. But I don't think I'm going to sell the X because they're not making them.
Yeah, like, this is a collector now. It's like I still have my 4. I still have a few of my iPhones. Yeah. Like, I still have my 3GS, I believe, or my 3G, whichever one was my first one.
Yeah. So spend your money wisely. If you drop it, enjoy it. Let us know how you enjoy it.
But I still, it really is a daily struggle of being like, oh my God, you got to live for now, but you got to prepare for the future. Like, you could die tomorrow, and then you're like, should have got that iPhone 11.
Sitting up in heaven like, dang, I could at least had a day with it.
It's literally sits with me like, that sits with me a lot in a lot of decisions. Like, well, I always hear my granny, like, you can't take it with you. I'm like, you're right.
You can't. But
I'm like, fuck it.
At the same time, you gotta have that emergency.
I mean, at this point, an iPhone is an asset. So if you do die, you could pass it on to someone. They can use it and or sell it.
Is that how we're justifying it now? Is that?
Right. Yeah.
Like, no, that one's not going to work. You tried. That's not going to work.
Y'all.
That is not.
I tried. Not.
I mean, we all got balances on them now, so they coming for us. Like, they can be like, oh, you can't sell this. No, okay.
Please return the phone. That's so insulting that they really tricked us into leasing these shits instead of like
getting
that subsidy. Yeah, that was
paying $200 for
a 2-year contract. Like, I've never left y'all AT&T. Just like,
I'm not leaving you guys. You should have never.
Please just let me keep upgrading. I'll sign as many contracts as you need. Yeah,
I ain't going nowhere. So
like, here we are, like 3 years later, and literally, it's not even a thought. It isn't even a payment to me. I'm just like, it's on my cell phone bill. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right, sir. Well, thanks for coming on.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks to the homie, the BFF Kenny, for coming on the podcast and chatting with me this week. Also, if you're in Atlanta, don't forget to scoop those last few early bird tickets and then tell all your friends, and let's get ready to sell this thing out. So head on over to thebooniebreakdown.com/live to grab your tickets for November 9th. And if you enjoyed listening to this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, and any other apps that you listen to your favorite podcasts on. Don't forget to leave us a review too. You might just hear a review on the next episode. Follow us on social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. And don't make those pretty images for nothing, okay? Have a dope ass week. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. Until next time.